Happy Devils Tuesday. This is the Woo Report. The Woo Report. The Morning Woo edition. I'm your host, Sam Woo, streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. Coming to you live from the Primetime Radio Studios bunker before your work day, or maybe you're at work right now if you're driving. On this live podcast, hands 10 and 2 in the wheel, 9 and 3 if you prefer. Ted says good morning. Donald says thankfully I had a day off. Steve Engel driving to work. Devils win 3-1 last night at Madison Square Garden behind Akira Schmid. Title of the podcast, Akira Schmid is Stone Cold. And the hockey world is noticing. Akira Schmid, the Devils' goaltender, at one point was number 3 on the depth chart this season, behind Vitek Vanacek and Mackenzie Blackwood. But he had been the most consistent goaltender throughout the season, put in precarious positions. Sometimes called off the bench in the middle of a game when the Devils are down by a few goals, only to see the Devils come back and win. Akira Schmid is the guy right now. He is the man of the hour. First 2 professional games, I should say 2 professional playoff games at Madison Square Garden, on that terrible ice, didn't faze him at all. Did not faze him at all. Lee Plays says, morning, loving the playoffs here in England. Devils in 7, hashtag LGD. Well, hello, England. Big game coming up Thursday for Game 5. We'll be at American Whiskey for sure. But let's get back to Akira Schmid. Steve Cangelosi, good friend of the podcast, keeping an eye and keeping tabs on the New Jersey Devils as Steve has moved on from being the play-by-play announcer for MSG Network. He tweeted this out, I believe last night. I'm going to read you Steve's tweet. You can find him on Twitter at Kanji Apple. Akira Schmid just played the first 2 Stanley Cup playoff games of his NHL career in one of the league's most hostile environments and doesn't seem to give a damn. That's something. He has eased your mind as a New Jersey Devils fan. He's brought calmness to you as a fan. I mean, this is the Devils-Rangers playoff series. And when he gave up that goal last night, when the Rangers tied it 1-1, ask yourself this. Did you have any doubt as a New Jersey Devils fan? When Trocheck scored his first goal of the playoffs from Kreider and Patrick Kane early in the third period, did you have any doubt? The momentum could have shifted at that moment. But no. Schmid happens. And that's the mentality of your New Jersey Devils because it has rubbed off throughout the team. And the most unlikely goal scorer on the New Jersey Devils getting involved offensively from the blue line is Jonas Siegenthaler, his fellow countryman, Akira Schmid, Timo Meyer, Nico Hischier, Jonas Siegenthaler. Scored his first goal of the playoffs from Hischier and Hamilton. Which it was the shot heard around the world. You could hear it hit that crossbar or that pipe, and the puck was in the net. Palat sealed the deal with an empty netter late in the third period. But it was Akira Schmid that held the fort. He didn't get any stars of the game, but in my mind, he should have been the first star of the game. He looked good back there. And Shorts Guy alluded to this a couple podcasts ago about Vitek Vanacek overcommitting to make the save, whereas Akira Schmid is a one-move save goaltender, but he's in really great position and using his body. He is a big guy. He is a big goaltender. When you crash into Akira Schmid, he doesn't move. He is a strong goaltender. Dirk says, most of the season I was hard on this team's defense, yet it's the defensive cores that won both games for the team. Go Devils. Oh, yeah. And this defense is just getting started, Dirk. Because let me remind you, the crown jewels of the future is in Luke Hughes and Simon Nemitz, and they're not playing right now. But eventually they will be. Reinforcements will come. Maybe not this season. But the future looks bright for the Devils' blue line. And they're getting involved. Especially Dougie Hamilton, which you have to be very happy for. But Akira Schmid, you would expect to get Game 5 start. No doubt this is his team right now. Lindy Ruff is playing the hot goaltender. But really, Schmid has been, even though it's a small sample size, had been the most consistent goaltender for your New Jersey Devils. This is his moment to shine. Could it be the next Patrick Waugh back in his rookie season? Thrown in the playoffs and just having an outstanding Stanley Cup playoffs. Where Patrick Waugh, I believe, won the Cup in 1986 for the Montreal Canadiens. Nadawi says, let's pray the one I call Devilman becomes the next Marty and not the next Andrew Raycroft. I'll tell you what, so far he's looking good. And how about Chico Rush's call last night? Swiss to Swiss, through the Swiss cheese, Devils up 2-1. Wow. Just wow. The Swiss connection is real. Love that the Devils are fighting back. Love that the Devils are holding their ground. And John Marino's playing very well. Max, welcome to the Woo Report, the Morning Woo edition. As everybody's filing in, it is Happy Devils Tuesday. Series tie 2-2. It's now a best of 3 with the Devils having home ice advantage. Thursday, the Rock will be rocking And I'll tell you that American whiskey, the big stage, will be out on the street. We will be having a little pep rally before we go on live air. Because we got to get this fan base fired up. If you're not fired up by now, something's wrong with you. Because last night, obviously I had to leave early to do the podcast, Devils After Dark, after the game with Scotty of SiriusXM Liquid Metal. Last night, I went to Stagehouse Tavern, Arlette's viewing party with, well, it's the official viewing party of the New Jersey Devils. Yesterday, great crowd. Everybody was in great spirits, good time. Everyone was positive. Jack Hughes getting it going. The leaders, the pillars of this franchise are having an impact. I know Jesper Bratt isn't really showing up on the score sheet too often, but he is working his way down the ice and going hard to the net. And he's a small guy, but you know what? He's keep on pounding. He took a couple of vicious hits there. Jack Hughes throwing the body around. This is the playoffs. Everybody must show up, do their job, and do a little extra. But we were begging for goaltending last season. Begging for goaltending. Unfortunately, Nico Dawes and Akira Schmid were way too young. The merry-go-round of goaltenders that the Devils had last season was just extraordinary. Where John Gillies was the number one goaltender for a while there, and the Hamburglar himself was in. But Akira Schmid and Vitek Vanacek really can't get the job done in these playoffs. But right now it's Schmid's team. It's his net. His poise, his demeanor, it makes everybody better. And when you have that kind of impact on your teammates without saying a word, perception matters. Your body language matters, especially from a goaltender. But he sits back there like Marty Brodeur, calm, confident, and ready to go at any given moment. Now, Marty Brodeur was more of a happy-go-lucky goaltender, but when he had to be serious, he was serious. Akira Schmid, from the outside looking down, it looks like nothing phases him. It looks like he's focused on one thing, the puck. And this should give the Devils a lot of confidence. But mind you, you still have Game 5. And the hardest game to actually win is the fourth game. Devils still have a lot to do. But Madison Square Garden, yes, that's right, Donald. It was silent after that second goal because the Ranger fans know the Devils have arrived. The series started Game 3, as far as I'm concerned, when the Devils finally showed up. Now Schmid has won some tight games in Madison Square Garden, one in overtime, and has only given up 2 goals. in the past 2 playoff games against the Rangers with the goals against average about 1. You could have asked for a better performance with Akira Schmid in net, making 22 out of 23 saves, but also being alert and just not getting rattled, which is why Akira Schmid is stone cold. Want to thank all those tuning in. Keep it here with the Let's Go Devils podcast. Tonight we should have the Woo Report, the night edition, as this morning Woo. I've done 2 in a row. Should I make it 3 tomorrow morning? You guys are showing up. But yeah, Devils are looking good right now. They've got all the momentum. And going back to the Rock, again, we'll be at American Whiskey, 51 Edison Place, across the street from Prudential Center, literally in the middle of the street on the big stage. Who will be our guest? We're still figuring that out. If you don't have a ticket, come down anyway. I know Ted is. I don't have a ticket this game, although I may have a ticket come out of nowhere. That's how things usually happen here on the Let's Go Devils podcast when we hang out at American Whiskey. Somehow somebody has an extra ticket. Get to go in the game. But we're going to get fired up. So get there early on Thursday. But Akira Schmid is stone cold, and he's giving everybody some hope. It feels great to be a New Jersey Devils fan. And when you listen to WFAN in New York, Boomer, they're just going to be crapping on the Devils. They like to crap on Chico and Matt, which is why I'm kind of glad that the Devils are not on WFAN. Why should they be on WFAN if they just get walked over? There's no reason for that. You can easily download it on the app and listen to them, the play-by-play, the voice of Matt Lachlan and Chico Resch. Dirk says, do they still use the big TV screen on the side of the Rock? Would be cool to go and watch the game from there. Eventually, I'm sure, right now it doesn't work, apparently. I think that TV was, I don't know. They got to actually have it connect. And the reasoning behind the split is to allow sunlight to go into the Rock. I think they overthinking that. But yeah, one day we're at Championship Plaza where you've got that big wall. You can put a projector on there. Maybe one day. Also, for Game 6 viewing party, stay tuned. We do not know where we will be, so stay tuned because we may throw a curveball at you. That's right. We may throw a little curveball at you at the venue. Want to thank all those tuning in. Dropping the podcast in about 20 minutes. Thank you for tuning in here on the Woo Report, the Morning Woo edition, in its pilot stages. But you got to be fired up for your New Jersey Devils. Going to work and brag. Simply annoy the opposition's fans. Don't ever forget what happened after Game 2. When the Ranger fans had their heads held up high, confident that they got this one. But the reality is, you just woke up the sleeping giant. And his name is Akira Schmid. And he's stone cold. Thank you, everybody, tuning in. Till next time, this is the Woo Report. Let's go, Devils.